What's up, guys? Coming to you today with a full slate of NBA action here on Friday, November 14th. I'll give out my favorite picks on the side and over-under on each game, and look at some player props, and I'll give you my favorite underdog pick of the day and my massive lock. So slam that like button and subscribe to the channel to make sure you keep seeing these videos every single day, and let us know what you're thinking in the comments. I personally read and answer every comment I get. Check the pinned comment throughout the day to see our favorite picks, and you should definitely check back a couple of times throughout the day to see if there are any changes with injury news coming out and starters being confirmed. Yesterday, guys, we're still pretty early on, trying to get you all the value of the early lines out there. Got a few plays still cooking there on the NFL side. They're on Thursday Night Football. The Patriots minus 13.5. They're going to have to play a little bit better there defensively, but the offense looks really, really good in drive number one. Drake May already putting up a couple rushing attempts. Henderson having a rough time running the ball. Did come up with that touchdown, but they basically had to shove him over the goal line. So we'll see how many carries he ends up getting in this game overall. Emmanuel quickly already cashed for us on our NBA player prop, over 21.5 points plus assists at minus 108. He had cashed this one before the end of the third quarter, quickly having a great shooting night, and that perimeter defense of Cleveland continuing to be an absolute problem. They're going to have to address at some point. Obviously, they're very, very early on in the season still, but they are in very, very good shape to get the job done there. So loving life there on that player prop. Still got Toronto plus 7 live. They're up 7 points here in the beginning of the fourth quarter, and at plus 7, that looks like excellent value. And obviously the Patriots minus 13.5 still to go on what was a pretty thin slate there on Thursday. Only 3 NBA games and 1 NFL game. So we've got a much, much better slate to dive into here on Friday. A basically full slate of NBA action. We'll also recap everything that went on there on the premium picks there on November 13th. So we'll dive into all that in a bit, but let's go ahead and get after it now and hop into our first NBA game of the day here on Friday. And we're going to be looking at the Miami Heat going on the road to take on the New York Knicks. The Heat come into this game fresh off a tough loss in the second game of their little 2-game series there against the Cavaliers. At 7-5 to start the season, I think you can honestly say that the Heat are one of the pleasant surprises here in the early goings in the NBA. Now, in that loss against Cleveland, they did give up a lead, and it wasn't against the full squad there for the Cavaliers, so it was not a great showing there from the Heat. Obviously, you're going to lose some games like that in the NBA season, but it was a little bit rough. We liked, in general, what we saw from Norman Powell. He continues to shoot the lights out, play amazing there for the Heat. We'll see how long he can stay healthy. Davion Mitchell also playing really, really well, looking like a solid point guard option there for them. Obviously, they've had some ups and downs with other players. Andrew Wiggins playing well. Kelly Ware, a very good night. I mean, 15 points, 13 boards, 6 of 7 from the field. So really can't complain too much about that. The bench was okay. Nikola Jovic only played 2 minutes. Only scored 2 points in 22 minutes. That is a problem. That's something that needs to be looked into. Jaime Jaquez finally had a bad night shooting the ball. 4 of 15 from the field, only 11 points in 30 minutes from him. That was a big part of why they lost this game. The Heat also didn't exactly have, their dream shooting night from inside the arc. They only shot 13 free throws as well, so that's not great. Still, though, 15 of 37 from deep, that will definitely get the job done. Usually, it didn't get the job done in this one, though, so we'll see if they can bounce back from that loss. They come into this game fully healthy with the continued exception there of Bam. Bam's been missing time here, still with that toe issue. He's officially out for this game, will not be playing in this one, and they could definitely use him back. Missing one of their best players is not ideal, although it has been interesting to see how well they've been able to play even with him sidelined. So liking what we're seeing in general from the Heat here to start the season. The Knicks are also up to an okay start. They're 7-4 on the year, coming off that 124-107 loss there against the Magic. And the big news is that Jalen Brunson, a grade 1 right ankle sprain. Definitely going to miss this game. We'll see how long he ends up being out. But for somebody like him, he has shown that he can be quick to bounce back from injuries. But I don't know. I am definitely concerned here. He did play 31 minutes. I believe it was 31 minutes. 37 minutes in that loss against the Magic. Maybe we're playing him a few too many minutes. I don't know. But yeah, a rough ankle sprain. He did have a pretty good game. Cat had a bit of a down game in that one. Mikal Bridges only 6 points. That's not going to work, and that's not going to be the case heading forward. They're going to need a lot more from him offensively with Brunson sideline. Anunoby's going to have to step up in a big way. He played 34 minutes and 8 points. Like, what are we doing here? Like, we got to move. That's the whole new shtick for the Knicks. Ball movement, shooting the ball quick, faster possessions, more threes, all that kind of stuff was not really coming to fruition there against the Magic. They shot 30% from 3, which isn't horrendous, but it also wasn't great. They also got crushed on the boards, which is a big problem. So yeah, not a great look for the Knicks there. They lose that game pretty convincingly. Now, looking at their injury report for this one, obviously Brunson on there, he's officially out. Other than that, they are healthy and ready to go, so that's nice. We'll definitely see a minutes bump there for guys like Jordan Clarkson, Miles McBride, maybe Shaman, maybe Josh Hart. All those guys could be in for a little bit increased minutes. I think we're going to see Mikal Bridges handle the ball here a little bit more. Tyler Kolek probably get some minutes there off the bench, so we'll see how this all shakes out. Mitchell Robinson being healthy for the time being is obviously a big plus for this team, but missing Jalen Brunson is a huge deal for this group. So looking at the numbers, I'm a little bit surprised at what I'm seeing. The Knicks are 4.5-point favorites here at home. We've got a total of 236.5 in this game. Miami 8-4 against the spread this season, 8-4 to the over. The Knicks 7-4 against the spread, 8-3 to the over themselves. I do think this is an okay spot to take over 236.5. It's a big number, don't get me wrong, but I do like the idea of both these teams will be running and gunning a little bit. The Heat have been playing some very high-scoring games. The Knicks, I think without Brunson, a little bit more ball movement, a little bit more player movement, a little bit less Brunson just going ISO. So we'll see how that all works out, but I do think it's going to translate into more overall points. I'm not going to get super involved in the total here, though, guys. My favorite play on this game is definitely the Miami Heat getting 4.5 points. Now, maybe we're stepping in here. Maybe the books are begging us to do this and take the Heat getting the points here, but I think they've got what it takes to make this a one-possession game here against the Knicks, who are going to be a little bit discombobulated without their best player. There is always that, we're missing our best player bump to worry about a little bit, but I do think the Heat getting some points in this one is definitely a potential dog of the day. Next on the docket, we're looking at the Brooklyn Nets going on the road here to take on the Orlando Magic. The Nets come into this game 1-10 on the season, just lost by 10 against the Raptors their last time out, and their only win this year was a relatively competitive win there against the Pacers. They're on the road in this one in Orlando, taking on the Magic. We'll see what they can do against the Raptors. They didn't do a whole lot. We got a pretty much a classic Brooklyn Nets game. Michael Porter Jr., 14 shots, only 1 of 6 from 3, so not a great shooting night from him. 21 points from him, 21 from Nick Claxton. I mean, just not a lot of great stuff happening right now on this lineup. Nobody scored in double figures off the bench, despite the bench soaking up plenty of minutes. I mean, this is just a straight-up bad basketball team. They got crushed on the boards. They didn't shoot the ball particularly great. They got to the free throw line 32 times, which is a little bit shocking to me. They did manage to make 31 of those, so amazing free throw night, but really not a lot of amazing stuff for me to say right now with the Brooklyn Nets. They're in for a very long, very tough season. It is not going to be a very fun one. Looking at the injury report, it's basically the same, everything as you would expect it to be. We'll see if anybody starts to get more minutes off the bench or anything like that, but this is certainly a tank it out kind of season for the Brooklyn Nets. Now, they're taking on the Orlando Magic, who've had a very rough start to their season. They did manage the 124-107 win against the Knicks. They've won 3 out of their last 4, but the bad news is Paolo Banchero dealing with a groin strain. He's listed as day-to-day. I'll be honest, I would be pretty shocked to see him play in this game here against a team that I'm sure they think they can beat without him in the Brooklyn Nets. Now, in the win over the Knicks, a very solid win, I will say that. Paolo Banchero, only 4 points there, playing 12 minutes before that groin strain took him out, but Franz Wagner played well. Wendell Carter Jr. stepped up and played well. Desmond Bane, 22 points for him. Finally seeming to find his 3-point shot now. And Anthony Black playing great off the bench. He needs to be getting more minutes. 7 of 11 off the pine, 3 of 5 from 3. Get my guys some more minutes. 10 points there but I mean, I don't know. Just not a ton of crazy contributions from the bench, but we definitely need to see, I would say, a little bit more Tristan da Silva because this team needs shooting, and a little bit more Anthony Black there coming off the bench. But overall, a very good day there for the Orlando Magic. Their injury report is obviously, centered around Paolo Banchero. He's listed as out right now, and is he officially decided? Yeah, he's going to miss at least this one game. It's going to be more than one game, guys. They're not going to rush him back. Other than that, the Magic are fully healthy for this game. Now, the numbers are a little bit concerning. The Magic are 14.5-point favorites in this game. We've got a total of 228.5. Brooklyn 4-6-1 against the spread, 7-4 to the over. Orlando 5-7 against the spread, 6-6 to the over/under. This is a brutal spot. I'm not going to lie. I really would love to take the Magic here at something reasonable, but 14.5 is an awful lot of points for this team that's not great at shooting threes to be blowing out a Brooklyn team that can still at least score a little bit. So I am going to lean a little bit towards the Nets here, getting 14.5 points. Nowhere near the pin comment with this play, though. I do think over 228.5 is reasonable in this game. I don't think anybody's going to play that insane on defense. This isn't a huge number, but nothing from this game, guys, is going to make it into the pinned comment. Hey, guys, hopping really quick shout out to the sponsor of today and every day's video, and that is stumpthespread.com. Click the link in the description to go over there and see the top confidence picks from our entire team of experienced cappers. Right now, our premium members are getting daily NBA, NHL, UFC, NFL, college football, and college basketball picks. Now is a great time to dive in and become a premium member over there at stumpthespread.com. There are so many games going on right now. We have our whole team of cappers getting to work every single day, bringing you the best possible picks they can. A crazy amount of data analysis going into those plays on a daily basis. So definitely want to get in on those as soon as you can. This is a bad time to be missing out. We have a lot of games every single day. We've got a lot of different sports going on. College football is really getting down to the nitty gritty. We're in the meat of the NFL season. We're settling in on both NBA and college basketball. It's a great time to be in the mix, and NHL season is flying high. So definitely want to get in on that. Also, go over to stumpthespread.com and check out all the free stuff we offer there every day. We cashed our free pick there yesterday, I believe. Another nice winner there on the college basketball side, and the college basketball picks have been working out pretty well there in the free section. All kinds of stuff ends up in the free section over there. So definitely want to get in on that if you are interested. Also, you can use our free-to-use bet size calculator while you're over there. Make sure you're not blowing your whole bankroll on 1 or 2 bad days. Also, and maybe most importantly, aside from the premium picks, is that free email newsletter, guys. It's a fantastic resource every single day. You just get a ton of information in that email every single day, and it's very easy to sign up. You just go to stumpthespread.com by clicking the link in the description, or by just typing into your browser of choice. Click that little green login button at the top right-hand corner. That'll prompt you to set up a free account. All they need is your name and your email address. That is it. You'll get one email straight to your inbox every single day. It'll have parlays in it. It'll have at least one free pick in it every single day. It'll have information on niche sports betting like golf, NASCAR, tennis, lots of good stuff like that. Updates on our results as well, and just a wealth of knowledge. Lots of great information there, especially the NFL touchdown props every single week. Those are already going out in some of the emails, and they went nuts last week, cashing 4 out of 6 of them, and most were big underdogs. So definitely, they're up on the screen right now, the ones we cashed last week. You definitely want to be getting in on those. That's a great resource, and those are plays that you can make money on just, throwing a little bit, a sprinkle. And if those come through the way they have been, you should be making a nice, tidy little profit there with almost zero effort on your part. So definitely want to get in on that if you're interested. On the premium side tonight, we really don't have any results in as of yet. The plays are up on the screen right now. Hopefully they work out. Wichita State, as a college basketball play for us, they were up huge last time we checked. Alabama was in a dogfight there with Purdue. The Capitals, Blue Jackets, Winnipeg, tons of action there on the hockey streets. A few NFL props there for Thursday night. The Raptors plus 7.5. They're now up 10 with 7 minutes left in the fourth quarter, so you would hope that one could come through. Got the Hawks play still to go, and a couple player props there on the NBA side for the Indiana Pacers. So we'll see how that all works out, guys. Hopefully it's a solid night out there for our premium members. Also, if you're a huge fan of what you're seeing from us here every single day, you can click that little join button right below the video to sign up for a YouTube channel membership. YouTube channel members get early access to all of our videos, get their name up on screen in every single video, but maybe most importantly, they get access to our members only giveaways. We give away a Stump the Spread hoodie here every single week to one random YouTube channel member. We put the name of every single channel member on a big wheel. We spin that wheel live on the video, and whoever it lands on gets a Stump the Spread hoodie of their size mailed straight to their address of choice. So definitely want to get in on that. It's great. I love giving those hoodies away. We're up to like 110, 115-ish YouTube channel members. If we can make it to 125 YouTube channel members, we're going to go from 1 giveaway a week to 2 giveaways a week. That would be awesome. I would love to start doing that for you guys. So let's see if we can make that happen, but we got to dive back in. We've got a ton of NBA games to cover here on a very, very nice Friday slate. And next up, we're going to be looking at the Philadelphia 76ers as they go on the road here to take on the Detroit Pistons. The 76ers have gotten off to a shockingly good start to their season. They're 7-4 overall. They have stumbled a little bit recently, losing 3 out of their last 5. Their last time out, a 102-100 win there over the Boston Celtics. A little bit of a weird night there for the 76ers, if I'm being honest. We didn't get what we normally get from Tyrese Maxey. He actually had a bad game. 21 points in a bad game isn't awful, but VJ Edgecombe, 2 of 11 from the field, only had 6 points, but was still a plus 10 in his 35 minutes. Just not a great night out there. They weren't fully healthy or anything like that, but yeah, a decent night out there. It's a little bit disturbing. We're not seeing the kind of production we were hoping for with when Jared McCain came back, but Quentin Grimes played really, really well off the bench. So did Justin Edwards. He had a monster night. He's really the reason they won that game. His 22 points off the bench is what carried them. So I mean, great to escape there in a bad situation with a win. They do find a way to win, albeit against a mediocre Boston team that's, gutted this season. But we'll see if they can keep rolling here. They're playing a much tougher opponent, but they will be rested for this one as they head to Detroit to take on the Pistons. Now, 76ers injury report, always something you want to keep an eye on. VJ Edgecombe is on there, and that's not something you see all the time. He's officially questionable with a back issue. This rookie, I do think there's a good chance we see him actually end up playing in this game, and I think he'll be okay. Maybe not completely on top of his game, but I think he'll be all right. Paul George and Embiid, of course, are both on there. A lot of drama surrounding what they should do with Paul George. He's not going to play in this game against Detroit. Reportedly, he's been healthy now for a bit. We'll see how long that means he ends up sitting out, or what they want to do. If they want to try and trade him, not trying to mess with what looks like a pretty dynamic duo there with Tyrese Maxey and VJ Edgecombe, and the rest of the guys really doing their thing out there. Embiid, stop me if you've heard this before, he will remain on the sidelines for Friday's game in Detroit, dealing with that knee. Obviously, he'd been playing pretty consistently. No structural damage to his right knee, shocker of the year, but still messed up. And that knee is going to stay messed up, I would assume, for the rest of his life, which is pretty bleak. But I don't know that he is the most amazing asset there in terms of a basketball player right now. Although when he's out there playing those 20 or 25 minutes that he plays, he's very productive, at least on offense. So we'll see what happens with that down the stretch. He will not be playing in this game as they take on the Detroit Pistons, who are killing it. They've won 8 in a row. They just beat the Bulls 124-113 with their skeleton crew, resting most of their main pieces coming off of a crazy overtime win there against the Wizards. The Pistons are atop the Eastern Conference right now. It has to feel great for a lot of those long-suffering Detroit Pistons fans. These last 2 seasons, the long wait seems to be mostly over. Now, in that win, we loved what we saw from Duncan Robinson. He stepped up huge, 7 of 10 from 3 for Duncan Robinson. A massive night from him. Paul Reed played amazing as well, 28 points, 11 of 13 from the field. Jenkins played really, really well. Also, we liked what we saw from Karis LeVert off the bench. He's becoming that scoring punch off the bench they need him to be. As a team, they shot 13 of 30 from long range. An excellent, excellent night. They kept things even with the Bulls starters there on the boards. This was the Bulls with no Giddey, so, take it with a tiny grain of salt, but we loved what we saw from the Pistons. And looking at the injury report, I would expect most of these guys to be back for this game. They're all still on the injury report, but you know how that can sometimes go, guys. Cade, dealing with that hip issue, he's officially questionable for this game. I do expect him to come back. Asar Thompson with his ankle will not play in this game. Tobias Harris, sounds like that ankle issue is going to keep him potentially out for this game. Yeah, it looks likely that he'll be out. Jalen Duren with his ankle issue is questionable. I think there's an excellent chance he comes back for this one. And Isaiah Stewart with his ankle issue is also questionable. I think there's a very good chance he plays in this game as well. But we'll see. They're all still on the injury report. There's a chance that plenty of these guys could end up missing this game. So looking at the numbers, the Pistons are 6.5-point favorites. Makes me think at least a chunk of them, probably including Cade, are going to play. We've got a total of 232.5 in this one. The 76ers are 9-2 against the spread in this season. They are 7-4 to the over. Detroit is 8-4 against the spread, 6-5-1 to the over. In terms of a side, I'm not going to give a huge lean here because we don't know the injury situation really for either team at the moment, so we're going to have to wait and see on that. But in terms of a total, I do think over 232.5 is very live in this spot. Both teams showing some trends towards the over this year in the early goings. I think we'll see plenty of offense there in for, bounce back shooting nights, or at least the 76ers are. And I do maybe shade towards the 76ers and the points here, but make sure you're checking back that pinned comment, guys. We could be adding Philadelphia against the spread in later tomorrow. Rolling along here, guys, we're looking at the Portland Trail Blazers going on the road to take on the Houston Rockets. The Blazers are 6-5 on the year. They're fresh off a 125-117 win there in New Orleans. Shadian Sharp looking like a monster. 35 points, great work there, but it was against the Pelicans, so let's not overreact. This Trailblazers team has done a lot of positive stuff, especially given that their head coach got arrested and has just disappeared from the scene. In that win, albeit it was against the Pelicans, one of the worst teams in the NBA, we continue to see Denny Adjeva play amazing. 32 points from him, 12 of 18 from the field, 4 of 8 from 3. Shadian Sharp, a monster performance there as well. A freak athlete out there. He was a plus 20 in his 30 minutes, scoring 35 points. 13 of 18 from the field. You can't ask for much better than that. 12 assists from Jrue Holiday. Having him on board with this team has made a massive, massive difference. He did play 37 minutes in that game. I don't think that's a great idea to be doing to him all the time, but we'll see. Jeremy Grant, actually a terrible performance there off the bench. Only played 7. Oh, I believe he got injured in that game. We'll be double checking on the injury report, though. Don't worry. But not a lot of monster performances coming there off the bench for the Blazers in that win. Now, in terms of their injury report, no, Jeremy Grant not listed on the injury report. Scoot, Matisse Thybulle, guys like that, of course, are still on there. But other than that, the Blazers are healthy and ready to go here as they head to Houston to take on the Rockets. And what looks to be a very, very solid test here. Houston 7-3 on the year. They've won 2 in a row. They've also won, 7 out of their last 8 or something like that. The only loss there coming at San Antonio. Durant had 23 points there against the Wizards. Obviously, that game was basically a foregone conclusion situation. Love what we saw from KD, 23 points from him. Sengun, 16, 15 from Jabari Smith Jr. Nobody having to play a crazy amount of minutes. Tari Eason, 20 points in 21 minutes from him. A very good night off the bench. And Reed Shepherd going nuts. His best game of the season by far, 21 points, 8 of 11 from the field, 5 of 8 from 3, a plus 13. He also had 3 assists and 3 turnovers. So that is a bit of a concern. So we'll see what he can do. They does definitely still feel, you watch these Rocket games, guys, even against a team like the Wizards, it's very clear they need a real point guard. I love Amen Thompson, guys. Don't take this the wrong way, but I just do not feel like asking him to play point guard for this team is really fair. That's not where he's at in his career arc. I don't know if he's ever going to be a real point guard. I don't think that's really his strength. Dude's a freak athlete. Let him take advantage of that in other ways. Don't ask him to run the offense. Now, looking at the injury report, huge deal. They are fully healthy here. The Rockets are rested and ready to go here playing at home. They are 8.5-point favorites. We've got a total of 236.5 in this game. Portland, 6-5 against the spread, 8-3 to the over. Houston, 7-3 against the spread, 8-1-1 to the over. I love over 236.5 in this game. I think that's a very, very reasonable spot. I think we'll see plenty of offense out there. Despite the solid defense that the Rockets are able to play, I think we're going to see lots and lots of scoring in this game. I also like the Rockets here at -8.5. I think they're in an excellent spot in this game. I think they're going to take care of business here and win by double digits against a Blazers team that's been playing well, but is in a bit of a letdown spot after a blowout win and isn't on the same level that these Houston Rockets are this season. Rolling right along here, guys, we've got the Charlotte Hornets going on the road to take on the Milwaukee Bucks. The Hornets come into this game fresh off a 111-100 win over the Bucks in game 1 of this little home series. Now, the Hornets haven't had a great year, but they did manage to take advantage of the absence of Giannis and get the 11-point win. Very solid production out there, kind of across the board. 4 double-digit scores there in the starting lineup, like we saw from Miles Bridges. Concanopoulos playing well, although not an amazing shooting night, but not terrible. The bench came up pretty big. Pat Connaughton sighting there against his old team. 4 of 6 from the field, 2 of 4 from three-point range. Trey Mann played well, 13 points in his 25 minutes. He was a +6, so a lot of good numbers out there, kind of across the board. They shot an awful lot more free throws, more than double, and dominated the boards. Now, the Bucks could be a completely different animal here with Giannis back out there, if he's back out there for this game, but the Hornets also have a lot of different injury things going on at the moment. LaMelo Ball, Kalkenbrenner, Josh Green, Grant Williams, all dudes on the injury report that would make a huge difference if they could play. Now, LaMelo Ball with that ankle issue, he is probable for this game. Sounds like he's going to be back. He's going to be out there giving them a lot more scoring punch and a lot more creation. Kalkenbrenner dealing with a personal issue is officially out for this game. I'm not sure what's going on with him, but he will not be playing in this one. Now, we'll see what they can do in Milwaukee taking on the Bucks, who are 7-5 on the season. They've had a little bit of a rough stretch here lately. In the loss there against the Hornets, obviously no Giannis makes a huge deal. Kuzma, a terrible night from him, shooting the ball not very good. Miles Turner stepped up big, 21 points from him, a good shooting night in his 29 minutes. Gary Trent Jr. continues to flounder. AJ Green not doing anything too impressive either, only 3 points from him. Ryan Rollins looking like they found a diamond in the rough. He played great, 25 points, 10 of 15 from the field. He has been a great upside guy for this team that's had a rough time at different situations. Basically, anytime Giannis is out, it's like, what are we going to do? So we'll see what they can do in this one. Looking at the injury report here is obviously extremely important, and Giannis is on there as always, and we've been very unable to trust his availability. Now, he's listed as probable for this game. He's been listed as probable other times and not played. So we're going to have to wait and see here on any Milwaukee Bucks game. Any Milwaukee Bucks props we are going to have to wait on. Now, looking at the numbers here, Milwaukee 10.5-point favorites. We had a total of 237.5. Charlotte 5-6 against the spread, 6-5 to the under. Milwaukee 6-6 against the spread, 7-5 to the over themselves. I'm going to be honest, if we end up seeing that, LaMelo Ball is officially going to play in this game, I don't hate taking the Charlotte Hornets here getting 10.5 points. The Bucks don't have all that much going on around Giannis right now, and Charlotte in a big game like this against what could be construed as a big opponent, I do think they could find a way to keep this game slightly competitive, but nothing from this one, guys, is going to make the pinned comment for me. Rolling right along, we're looking at the Sacramento Kings heading to Minnesota to take on the Timberwolves. The Kings are 3-9 on the season, but they've lost 4 in a row, and it's not getting much better anytime soon. Stuff is looking really bleak there for the Sacramento Kings. Sounds like they should be going into rebuild mode, but we've been saying that about the Kings for quite some time. There's a bunch of drama around Sabonis in the offseason, whether he even wanted to come back and play for this team. I don't really blame him. We'll see. We'll see if that ends up happening here. In the loss against the Atlanta Hawks, Keon Ellis led the way for this team. Honestly, like a very solid young player, hoping he has a bright future. Can you have a bright future in Sacramento? We'll see. Schroeder not doing much in his 26 minutes. Pretty brutal nights out there for guys like Sabonis. 12 points, 5 boards, 2 assists, 4 turnovers. just does not seem to be into it. Russell Westbrook has to feel like he's in hell. He came, couldn't sign anywhere else, and he came back for this, and he's already getting floated in trade rumors. Doug McDermott, 6 points, 2 of 3 from 3, 8 minutes. When Dougie McBuckets at 1,000 years old is getting minutes, you know things aren't headed in a great direction. So we'll see if the Kings can bounce back here. It's not impossible, I guess. Sabonis is on the injury report. Zach LaVine should be back. Malik Monk also on the injury report as well. Sabonis dealing with a rib issue is questionable for this game, and I question how committed he is to coming back for this one. I think he would love to be traded somewhere else. Malik Monk dealing with an ankle issue is questionable for this game as well. I think I would be a little bit surprised if he actually played in this game, but we'll have to wait and see. Another guy that I feel like a ton of other teams could use. So we'll see what they do here playing on the road against the Timberwolves. They've won 3 in a row, beating the Jazz, the Kings, and the Jazz again. So those are pretty much 3 free wins, I will say that. In their game against the Kings recently, they won 144-117 in their 7-point win there in Utah their last time out. A bit more competitive a game. We liked what we saw from Julius Randle and Anthony Edwards. 35 for Ant, 5 of 9 from 3. He's playing great. The bench just continues to be very, very, very underwhelming here for the Timberwolves. Something that's going to be a bigger problem for them here as the season goes on. Now, they also got out-rebounded by the Utah Jazz. That is not something that's supposed to be happening when you have Rudy Gobert on your team. So we'll see what the Timberwolves do in this one. Obviously, they won, and their win over the Kings was very comfortable the other day as well. Their injury report looks fine. Terrence Shannon Jr. is still not ready to be back yet, but other than that, they are healthy and ready to go. I also think moving Dante DiVincenzo into the starting lineup, an overall positive. Jaden McDaniels looking like a monster this year, so there's a lot that I like right now about the Timberwolves. They are 11.5-point favorites in this game. We have a total of 239.5. The Kings are 4-8 against the spread this season, 8-4 to the over. Minnesota 4-7 against the spread. They are 8-3 to the over themselves. It's a really big number, but I don't hate over 239.5. I think that's a pretty reasonable idea, but it's too big of a number for me to get too intrigued. I do think this is going to be a spot to take the Timberwolves at minus 11.5. The Kings are just too bad, guys. There's just no way around it. Minnesota seems generally to be pretty motivated on a nightly basis. They're not playing on the front half, or they are playing on the front half of a back-to-back, though, and that does give me plenty of reason here for concern. So we'll see. I'm not going to get too involved in this one, but I do think the Timberwolves are the side you want. Next on the docket, guys, we're looking at the Los Angeles Lakers going on the road to take on the New Orleans Pelicans. The Lakers are 8-4 on the season. They're coming off a blowout loss there at the hands of the Oklahoma City Thunder. As we predicted, the Thunder dominated them in that game, so we'll see what they can do in this one, see if they've got a bit of a bounce back in them. Rui Hachimura played okay, 13 points, 5 of 11 from the field. Not a terrible night from him. 19 points from Luka. He ran into exactly the problems that we thought he would. Didn't get the foul calls that he wanted. Only 1 of 7 from 3. 7 of 20 from the field in general. Was a minus 31 in his 33 minutes. That's pretty brutal. Austin Reeves also having a bad night. Just the kind of defense they are especially allowed to play at home against opposing guards is absolutely bonkers there, what the Thunder are allowed to do to some teams. So, we'll see. Dalton Knecht played amazing off the bench. 19 minutes, 16 points, 4 of 5 from 3. Great work from him, but overall, this was never a game the Lakers had any chance. They were down 30-18 in the first quarter. So we'll see if they've got a little bit of a bounce back in them. The news about LeBron is that he practiced and had no ill effects, so it sounds like he's going to be back sooner rather than later. The injury report looks pretty clean. Gabe Vincent's still going to be out, but other than that, everybody is ready to go for this game. Now, they're heading to New Orleans to take on the Pelicans, who are 2-9 on the year. Zion just got cleared for on-court work, so congrats. Zion's going to be back soon. I don't know how big of a difference that's going to make or how long he'll be back, because if we look at the entire rest of his career, seems like he won't be back for long. Their last time out, they got blown out by, maybe not blown out, but lost to the Trailblazers 125-117. In that game, we saw 22 points from Trey Murphy, 25 from Sadiq Bey, who I think deserves more minutes on this team if I'm being completely honest. 26 points for Derek Queen coming off the bench. He had a very good game as well. They lose this one despite shooting 13 of 39 from 3 and despite shooting more free throws, and they lose this game despite keeping things pretty even there on the board. So really, almost zero good news there for the Pelicans. Maybe they're getting healthier here. We'll see, but it's just, I don't know if it even matters, guys. Zion will still be out for this game. Obviously, on-court work being approved, that's good. Maybe he'll be back sooner rather than later. Jordan Poole, also injured. He's still going to be out for a bit. He'll be reevaluated pretty soon, though, so maybe he can be back soon. But it's been a bleak season for the Pelicans. That's why they're getting 10.5 points here playing at home. We've got a total of 229.5. The Lakers are 8-4 against the spread, 9-3 to the over this season. The Pelicans are 5-1 against the spread, 6-5 to the over. I like the Lakers here. The Pelicans are just too banged up right now. I don't see anything super positive coming down the pipe for them. The Lakers are in a huge bounce back spot after getting blown out by the Thunder. They go from playing one of the best teams in the NBA to one of the worst teams in the NBA, and I think that's going to result in a blowout win and cover here for the Lakers. Now, my worry is they are playing on the front half of a back-to-back, so how committed will they be to this blowout? We'll have to wait and see, but I do think they're going to win this one very, very comfortably. So I'll definitely take a look at the Lakers at minus 10.5. I also think over is not unreasonable in this game. And we've got a couple of player props that I want to look at for this one. And first up, I'll take Rui Hachimura over 16.5 points plus rebounds at minus 130. He's been getting mid-30s in terms of minutes, and while he isn't necessarily blowout proof, it's not as huge of a concern for him like it would be for Reeves or Luka. He's been over this number in 4 of his last 5 games, and the Pelicans are terrible, so I'm expecting him to have a very good time out there. And like I said, even if this is a blowout or if they're looking to pull guys there early to rest them for the next day, I don't really know if Rui Hachimura ends up on that list. On the Pelicans side, a guy that I mentioned early, Saddiq Bey. I'll take him over 14.5 points in this one at plus 100, a very reasonable price. The Pelicans are not having a great time this year, and with Zion continuing to miss time, there is plenty of minutes around there for Bey. He's been very effective in his minutes, scoring 25 his last time out in a huge game against Portland, and he's blowout proof going against a Lakers team that isn't great defensively. So even if this is a blowout, I think Saddiq Bey is going to get plenty of minutes, and getting to 15 points against a mediocre Lakers defense does not seem like a big ask to me. Next up, we're looking at the Los Angeles Clippers going on the road to take on the Dallas Mavericks. Now, the Clippers have been one of the biggest disappointments in the NBA this season. I don't know what to chalk it up to necessarily. I mean, Kawhi is missing time. The Bradley Beal thing has to take a little bit of air out of the sails, although these dudes had to see what he looked like coming into the year, and it can't have been good. But the Clippers are 3-8 on the season. They just got blown out 130 to 116 by the Nuggets. I guess they hung around in the first half a little bit, or no, they were winning at halftime, I believe, but then just got the doors blown off, getting outscored 43 to 22 in the third quarter. So, yeah, I mean, Harden's doing everything he can for this team. He's 23 points, 5 of 16 from the field, and 1 of 6 from 3, though. Is not an amazing night. He was a minus 24, maybe the worst plus minus on the team. John Collins only had 2 points. Him being in the starting lineup's not looking as good as I would have expected. Zubac is putting up decent numbers, but really, without Kawhi, I'm not sure what this team is supposed to do. Jordan Miller, 22 points off the bench. That's great, but he's not going to go 5 of 7 from 3 all the time. And the fact they lost this game by 14 points, despite shooting 16 of 37 from 3, that's 43.2% from distance, is a very bad sign. They got out-rebounded significantly, and I'm not really sure what this Clippers team should be trying to do at this point. We'll see what happens, see when Kawhi is going to be back. Looking at their injury report, it appears not for this game. Sounds like Kawhi recovering from a right foot sprain in addition to the sprained right ankle. So we'll see when he comes back. It isn't just an ankle sprain. I mean, it's Kawhi. Who knows? Kawhi probably does. No one else knows. So no way to know when he's going to be back. I do know, though, that it won't be for this game. So we'll see what they can do going on the road to take on the Mavs. Dallas, 3-9 on the season as well. They're fresh off a 123 to 114 loss there against the Suns. We'll see if they've got a bounce back in them. Does firing Nico get the squad fired up? We'll see. I would get pretty fired up if I was the fan base, especially since our franchise is now ruined thanks to Nico. But we'll see what they can do. Gafford, 15 points there against the Suns, 16 for Cooper Flagg. He's doing what he can out there. Brandon Williams, 17 points in his 33 minutes and was a plus 11. Max Christie in the starting lineup played okay. The bench, 12 points from Najee Marshall, 19 from Klay Thompson. Finally seeing Klay do something positive. He was only 6 of 16 from the field, though, so let's not get too excited. Or 6 of 16 from 3, 6 of 17 from the field. So I would really like to see Klay find some success here in his second act, but it's just not looking too good. So we'll see what the Mavs can do here playing at home. That has to help at least a little bit. Their injury report, PJ Washington, Anthony Davis, Derek Lively, all on there. PJ Washington dealing with a shoulder issue, officially questionable. Anthony Davis with his calf issue is officially questionable, so it sounds like there's some chance he could play in this game, but I would be a little bit shocked if he does play. And Derek Lively, also questionable for this game. So a lot still up in the air there for the Mavericks. They're getting 3 points at home. We've got a total of 218.5. The Clippers are 1-10 against the spread this season. They're 6-5 to the over. Dallas, 5-7 against the spread, 8-4 to the under. I do think this is a potential spot for the Clippers to find a win and cover here, but without Anthony Davis, this team is pretty bad, and there's so much injury news still swirling for this game that I can't even give you a great lean. So unfortunately, this one is going to have to stay a wait-and-see spot. Last but not least, guys, in one of the most exciting games of the day, we've got the Golden State Warriors going on the road to take on the San Antonio Spurs, and that will be our second Amazon Prime game. Now, the Warriors, they are 7-6 on the season. They're playing the second game of a 2-game set there in San Antonio. They won game 1, 125 to 120. 120 and come from behind fashion. They were down 14-28 after the first quarter, behind 46 points there from Steph. A vintage Steph game, 5 of 16 from 3, so not his best night from distance. He was finally getting some calls, not something you often see for Steph. He made 15 out of his 16 free throws. They shot 36 free throws, and the Spurs shot 16, so probably some reasonable gripes there coming from the Spurs. 28 from Jimmy Butler. He played really well, 5 of 7 from 3. His three-point shooting has seen a big uptick. Moses Moody, 5 of 10 from 3 for him, moving into the starting lineup there ahead of Kuminga, who had 0 points in his 12 minutes off the bench. So we'll see. That situation could get real bad real quick. We'll see. We'll see what goes on there, but I'm concerned for sure. Podziemski, 6 points off the bench in 29 minutes. Bro, I don't think they're probably going to hand the keys over to you. I don't think that's really who you are. So we'll see what goes on with the Warriors here in their second time around against the Spurs, but they played really good in the first time around, especially Steph. But like I said, they were getting a lot of calls. Coming into this game, they're fully healthy with the exception of Kuminga, who's on the injury report dealing with a knee issue. We'll see if he's ready to go here against the Spurs. I hope this is not the beginning of some big, weird issue here with Jonathan Kuminga in trying to get traded or something. So we'll see what they can do heading into San Antonio here. The Spurs are 8-3 on the year. When you look back at their schedule, they've got some good wins. They've got some wins against some weak opponents. Obviously, that game against the Warriors, they've got a very reasonable gripe about the free throw disparity, but I mean, looking at what Wemby did, it was pretty nuts. 11 of 22 from the field, 3 of 7 from 3, 15 rebounds, 10 assists. He did have 8 turnovers as well. I don't know if we need to tell Wemby to dribble it a little bit less or what, but that was not a great look. The supporting cast around him, though, looked very, very good. De'Aaron Fox, a little bit of a step back, but 23 points from Stephon Castle. We liked what we saw coming off the bench from Luke Kornet. He was a perfect 6 of 6 from the field in his 22 minutes. So there's a lot of positives here for the Spurs, who can play better on both ends of the floor. And they did have a rebounding edge. I expect them to have an even bigger rebounding edge in this game. Now, looking at the injury report here for the Spurs, obviously pretty vital, but it looks very healthy. Dylan Harper, the only one on the injury report. He won't be playing, but other than that, they are healthy and ready to go for this game. And they are 2.5-point favorites here playing at home. We've got a total of 234.5. The Warriors are 7-6 against the spread. They're 9-4 to the over. The Spurs 4-5-2 against the spread, 7-4 to the over themselves. I don't mind over in this game. I'm not in love with it, but I definitely don't hate it. I don't think it'll be a pinned comment play, but I do think over has some value. In terms of a side, I like the Spurs here at -2.5 quite a bit. I know they lost game 1, but I think we'll see the calls even out a little bit here in game 2. I think that's going to result in the Spurs getting a comfortable win. They've got way more depth. They've got way better defenders. They've got way more youth and athleticism, and they're playing at home. I think they find a way to right the wrongs of game 1 of this little 2-game series in San Antonio and come away with a comfortable win. This play definitely has a chance to make the pinned comment. It could also be our lock of the day. They're taking the Spurs on the money line. Also, guys, I got a couple props that I like for this game. And first up, I'll take Al Horford under 12.5 points plus rebounds at -125. He played 23 minutes in the Warriors' win over the Spurs on Wednesday, but only had 9 points and 3 boards, which is honestly one of his most productive nights for the Warriors. Will he be able to replicate that playing on the road? I mean, that seems like a big ask to me, and maybe he will. I mean, obviously, game 1 of this was on the road too, and he played okay, but he wasn't able to get over that number. And Horford just doesn't feel like he's found his groove here with the Warriors. He's looking a little bit old. Definitely doesn't have the ability to keep up with a lot of these young guns there for the Spurs. So I think we'd be in for a brutal Al Horford night in this one. And I'll also take Harrison Barnes over 12.5 points plus boards in this game at -120. I think this play has some very solid value. He's been over this number in 4 of his last 5 games, and it still feels like he always has a little bit something extra in the tank when he's playing against his former team, even though it's been a very long time since he got, he's no longer ended up with the Warriors. I think playing at home, he's in for a very good night in this one, and I could see him, having something like, 15 points and, 4 or 5 boards, and that crushes this number, obviously. So this play could definitely make the pinned comment. Guys, that's all the games we have here for today on Friday. Hit that like button for good luck on all of your bets. Subscribe to the channel if you're new around here, and let me know in the comments any questions you have on today's slate. I'm more than happy to get back to you. I appreciate everybody for watching these videos. Make sure you're clicking the link in the description to get over there to stumpthespread.com. Get on that free email list by setting up a free account. It's very, very easy. It's very straightforward, and it's great information every single day, especially on Sundays there for those NFL touchdown props. Also, check out the premium picks over there. A good night of premium action cooking over there for us right now, and a big weekend of college football, NFL, and more of the NHL, NBA, and all that good stuff that you guys like in the mix. So definitely a great time to be over there as a premium member at stumpthespread.com. Check it out, guys, and we'll see you right back here tomorrow, same time, same place, for more sports betting action.